The JLR interview series.
Okay, so it's just after 5 p.m. on Friday here in London, which is not as sunny as a couple of days ago, unfortunately, but never mind. And today, Jasmine on the radio's got a really interesting artist with us today. And it's a group and they're called the Empress. So hi to everyone.
Hi.
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 Hi. So what I will do, I thought the best thing will be to get everyone to introduce themselves and then we could crack on with some questions. So yeah, do you want to go ahead,
All
please?
right. I'll go ahead. Hi, I'm Purum Jin, the founder and leader of the Empress. I play soprano and alto saxophone in the group. Thank you so much for having us. Can't wait to talk about the band.
Yeah, sure. Can I get the other names, please, for the listeners?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elena Terracubo. I play alto 2 on in the Empress.
Okay.
I'll go next.
And
Hi, I'm Chelsea Barretts, and I play tenor saxophone in the Empress.
and one
I'm
more, I
Lauren.
think.
I'm Lauren Sevian, and I play baritone saxophone.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, this is the interesting thing about the Empress is that it's four saxophone players. Now, this is something I haven't seen before, and I've been listening to jazz for a long time. So this is what I really would like to talk to you guys about, which is, well, first of all, how did the project come together? How did this idea come about to have four saxophonists um, in one group, so to say?
Uh, yeah. Actually, I started envisioning this project years ago after I worked with German baritone saxophonist Michael Ujaya during his tour in Korea in 2011. His arrangement had a really big impact on me. We toured Germany together, but never had the chance to record anything officially. But after I moved to New York and seeing so many remarkable female saxophonists around me, and I knew it was time to bring this idea back, reimagined in a new way. That's how we started. And yeah.
What was that new way? You can say new way.
Well, because I did this project with the German people, it was like all sort of Korean mixed with the German guys. It was kind of an idea, but in new way, I want to highlight these great saxophone female musicians in the scene. I want to show that, yeah, in a new way.
Okay. And did you know the other ladies in the group already, or have you guys played together before? How did the others come into the band?
Uh, I got the people actually from my aunt. So the first person I brought on this project was Lauren, our baritone saxophone player, also a production advisor. The moment I met her, I thought if Lauren is in, this band can really happen. So after our first gig together, I was completely sure, and I asked her right away if she'd be part of this band, and she immediately said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So she also offered a lot of ideas in the early planning stages, and how now act as our production advisor. And I met Arena. I have known each other since my earliest days in New York. We're both from Asia and share similar musical instincts, I believe. And so I felt there was always a natural connection with her. So that's how I got her. And Chelsea, I met her. I was living in Virginia, another town. She joined the local section where I was playing, and then her presence stopped me right away. Strong in music, but very supportive person. She has this balance of intensity and warmth that really adds something special to this band. Yeah, so that's how we became the band.
Okay, I mean, does anyone else want to chime in with their thoughts on that?
Yeah, please.
I'll say something. I mean, I'm really grateful I met Perm at the time that I did because, like she said, we met in Virginia. The reason that I was in Virginia is because I had been traveling to Virginia several times a year to visit my grandmother. My grandmother is in her late 90s now, and she used to be a music teacher and an opera singer, but she's been suffering from dementia for a long time. So I was going down to Virginia to like take care of her and help her move up through the ranks of like memory care in the nursing home and stuff. And I met another amazing tenor saxophonist from the Richmond, Virginia area named Charles Owens. Definitely an amazing musician, worth mentioning and checking out. But he was the one who brought me into the fold of that scene because I was literally just dealing with my grandma all day and I had the blues. I was sad. Like,
Yeah.
you talk about you feeling like I'm a supportive person. I felt that so much coming in to the Virginia scene. And it's really beautiful that we got to meet in that way. And now we're doing this project together. And I'm really grateful. You know?
That's marvelous. Anyone else want to say anything?
Sure. Yeah, I dig the Virginia connection because, initially, when Purnima and I met, it was through that gig at U.A. So I think it's rare. It's like very unique that, I wound up playing on this record as well, and the connection that Chelsea has to the area as well. I think it's just something that speaks to like you can be anywhere in this world and connect through music. And yeah, I'm just in such incredible company as far as the level of not only are we women, but the level of musicianship is so high. And I think that always needs to come first. The music has to come first. And when I saw the lineup of the four of us, I just thought these are some of the baddest, out here, So I think that that's what I think, when I see the album cover, I just think we're some bad, what. So,
Yeah.
And if that sounds a little egotistical, then I guess that's what it is. But everyone sitting here plays their, what's off. And that's the most important thing.
That's I'm glad you said that because I think that's the first thing that comes out of this record as a listener and a non-musician myself who just loves listening to music. It's the music. You listen to a lot of jazz and you start going with the technical virtuosity and all the soloing and all these changes and stuff. But this is really it sounds like really good music and it's really cohesive. And I got a question about that as well, but I'll come to that in a minute. So I'm glad you said that actually. So yeah, I totally concur with that.
Arena, I think she raised her.
So I would say like this band is so fun to work with. Everyone has their role. And like Prum mentioned before, she's from South Korea and I'm from Japan. And it's so rare to find someone who's into this music in the same way and the same instrument and female.
Yeah.
So I was like, you play this too? Oh, I play this too. And so that's like so much connection. And as an international, especially with the English as a second language, I really like feel her. I almost know what she's thinking, but to me, she's so like she's on fire. She's like she has no fear. And I respect that, and it's so inspiring. And Lauren is like so organized. Okay, let me help you this. And Chelsea brings the party, and
Yeah. We got all like individual roles. Yeah. So Lauren is like our boss lady. She's really powerful. And she's actually one of my role models before too. I mean, because she's fabulous. Yeah. So I am so happy to have all individual musicians all together because they are fabulous. They are really, established musicians, educator, but true artists. So I'm so proud to have all of them together in this group. I'm so grateful.
Good chemistry.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Indeed.
Continuum too, because like I've lived in New York for 20, it'll be 20 years in August. And I remember Lauren being like one of the queens on the scene even before I moved to New York. And I remember Arena coming into New York after I moved here and becoming one of the new queens of the scene. So there's literally like a continuum happening in this band and a moment in time being captured. And it's electric.
I'll never forget listening to Arena's audition for MSM. We were all doing it. We were listening on Zoom because it was remote, and we're just everyone that was there was just like blown away.
Going
you
away.
know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
can I ask? You mentioned that you're from South Korea and Japan. I know jazz is fairly big in Japan, or quite big, isn't it? But what about South Korea?
Uh,
Is jazz quite big in South Korea?
Not as much as Japan because the historically the jazz history in Korea it's not that long, I guess. But I just say Korea jazz scene is kind of growing scene. A lot of possibility we have because it's kind of usual thing when you go to jazz club, most of the audiences are really young people. So I think that's why I want to say that Korea jazz scene is kind of a growing scene because in Korea it's kind of a hip culture for younger people going to jazz club, sitting down and listen to the music. It's kind of a hip thing for the younger people, I think. So that's I think the most interesting in Korea jazz scene, and I hope it's getting bigger and bigger because we have also a lot of great musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, are there any other sort of musicians coming through that's from South Korea that we should be aware of? You got any
Uh,
names?
there's tons of great musicians, but I just say Jihae Lee, the orchestra composer, she's
Oh
amazing.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, people could be recognizing her name because she's become really
yes.
popular. Yeah, she and I went to MSM together. We're only Korean musician at the year, so we rely on each other a lot. Just like not even in the music, just emotionally everything. J.K. Kim, drummer, he's amazing, fabulous. Yeah, there's a tons of younger people in the scene. I'm so grateful to have all friends are getting successful yeah career. Yeah.
Well, that's good news. I mean, obviously, the music needs young people to enjoy it, so it keeps going and brings through new fans and younger musicians to play it as well. So, yeah, no, it's really good to hear. But
Mm.
the full saxophone thing, I, I'm sure you're aware of. There used to be like, say, oops, just like Dave Liebman. I think it was Joe Lovano, and there was three. They used to do a trio of saxophones together. So they've Dave Liebman, Joe Lovano, and there was another one. But, my mind escapes me, but I've never heard of four. I mean, is that something you've heard before? Or is this something really novel? Having four saxophonists together in one band.
Well, I mean, this band actually originally inspired by Super Sax project. I think they based it in like LA area, I think back in days. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I really enjoyed the concept because they play bebop stuff with, and then they did like the Charlie Parker unison solo, whatever. It was really fire. I think my arranger he also really got inspired the kind of the concept like a four saxophones and with the rhythm section and a driving force like kind of a music. So that's the most inspired the project. And I recently I've checked a lot of bunch of classical to jazz like a saxophone quartet group like a I found some like words jazz saxophone ensemble like a jazz quartet. Yeah, some there's more and I'm still checking a lot of things. But I don't see that much women like us in saxophone quartet, and who plays real jazz.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, you're just speaking to like, we see. I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of saxophone quartet on its own, right? But
yes,
this is, I would say, I think, I don't know. I'm kind of scratching my head to think, has there been? I'm sure there has, but has there been another just saxophone, like a front line of 4 saxophones and rhythm section? Maybe like four tenors or 4. I've used to play in a 5 baritone band.
really?
Howard Johnson had a 5.
Howard Johnson, yeah.
5 baritone band. But has there been like this super sax kind of vibe with with rhythm section playing hard bop? I'm not. Again, maybe it's out there, but I don't know.
I remember when we first started posting Empress and putting up the prompt on social media, like, yo, have you ever seen a band like this? And some people were like, yeah, check out this all-female band. And I'm like, nope, you're a rock band. Nope, you're...
Yeah, this is different.
It's different. It's different.
That's right, yeah.
Definitely never seen a band like this.
Who are the rhythm section in on the record?
We got Steve Ash on piano, Joey Ranieri on bass, and Pete Van Nostrand on drums.
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to ask now, again, as a non-musician, so forgive me for asking a question like this, but I find it really intriguing. So, you got your arrangements and everything, but you each play a different saxophone, tenor, baritone, alto, and soprano. How do you avoid treading on each other's toes? Is that take a lot of discipline, or because some people see jazz as everyone just doing what they want, which obviously is not true. So, how is it to arrange to do something to make an arrangement like that for each part of the song?
Like when everything should be like kind of pyramid. I listen to everyone, try not to play too loud, try to blend, try to listen to how Prum articulates, how she sings the phrase, the intonations, volume. But arrangement, someone else did the arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
So listening is important, basically. Is that the most important thing, would you say? Listening to each other.
Yeah, knowing your role and how you fit, like not just knowing my part, right? Because these are highly orchestrated arrangements, and understanding how to fit in my part to everybody else's. And I don't know, especially as a Barry player, and I think I just think this way just from playing a lot of big bands, but my role is constantly shifting. So my mind is already in that place where I know how I have to play like a little hopscotch sometimes, and just know when I'm being, the anchor, or I have a supporting role, or I have the melody. So a lot of that comes with listening and understanding the music and what you're playing, and getting to know. And again, because of the situation, these are arrangements. So getting to know the charts and getting to know the arrangements is really important, versus if we were like on the bandstand calling tunes, that would be a completely different thing, So I think that's like a big component, at least as far as it is, in terms of this record. Everything was arranged, everything was mapped out. Where's you soloing here? Everyone gets a chance to blow. That's the other thing. I think the way that everything was mapped out was incredible. It was really well done. Nobody, I don't know, I certainly didn't feel left out of the fold, because that happens sometimes. You can't help it. You're like, I want to play. I'm here to play, but that's not always, your role in the music, So, but in the case of this, it's, I feel like it was set up so that we didn't, as you say, like step on each other's toes, so to speak.
And what about the choice of tunes? Who came up with the idea? Because I see you got really sort of an array of tunes you've chosen for this record. So who came up with the idea, well, let's use this record like song like Caravan or other tunes? Was that easy to come to?
Uh, so the tunes actually, I most of the tunes in the record I did already the tour with Michael Ujaya, our arranger, back in days. But this time I did one arrangement on Everything Happens to Me because I want to dedicate the Charlie Parker kind of drawing the mood, all kind of his concept. But most of the tunes from Michael Ujaya, and then I asked him to add more tunes. But it's mostly my choice because I want to play with the really well arrangement ensemble thing, but I want to also keep the like everyone's a solo on it. So I thought because when I got the tunes, I immediately just thought that this tune will be fit for who maybe Chelsea take the solo because it's going to be great with her blah blah. I can imagine all the sounds with the arrangement. That's how I all the tunes too. Yeah.
That's great. And what about performing together? Are you planning to do any live performances with the
Uh,
Empress, or have you done any already or so far?
that's what I hope so. But,
Let's go to Ronnie Scott's. I'll come back.
Oh, yes,
I was just
that'd be good.
there. Let's go back.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah. Ronnie Scott's, if you're listening, call us.
And anything in so far in the United States so far, or have you got any plans?
Actually, we're looking forward to our upcoming performance this September at Jazz in Times Square, a concert series presented by Jazz at Lincoln Center. Yeah, they've included us in this year's lineup, so I think it would be great to share the music from Scale One with a broad audience in New York City. So that's one I'm so excited to have. But we're open to do something more.
I'd say also like that's gonna be our first New York City gig, but we did do a gig in Washington D.C. I think you forgot to mention it. We had a gig in Washington D.C. back in March that was our first like actual live show, and it was on my birthday. I had a really amazing birthday. It was the best. But yeah, it was actually really exciting to play with the band, and yeah, once you get one good live gig under your belt, there's no stopping us. I really can't wait to play more with this band. We need to get out there and get booked.
And Prem has difficult arrangement. She brought Charlie Parker's solo arrangement on Mustamooch. We have to nail it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, well, I would love to think that you guys will be able to tour Europe, or with the band. I know it's really difficult because obviously you're doing your own things as well and stuff, but that would be amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you as well, what other projects do you guys doing like individually besides this? Because I think the listeners will be interested to hear what other things you guys get up to. If you want to do it one by one,
Who wants to start?
you can start.
Okay, all right, I'll start. So I have a few different projects that I'm involved in as a leader. I have my own quartet called the LSQ. I have a quintet that I have with Alexa Tarantino called LSAT. It's just our initials spelled LSAT. And then I also have a sextet that's an all-female sextet that I co-lead with Amanda Monaco called Lioness. And then I also, I would say at this point I'm doing more like kind of guest artist things and residencies. And I teach full-time at Berkeley. So that tends to take up a lot of time. But I still get out there and play. I was just in Europe, just in London with the Mingus Band at Ronnie's. So that was nice. I got a few things coming up this summer, but yeah, that's what I get up to. And then I'm also like about to start marathon training, so that's going to eat up a lot of
Marathon.
my time.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic. I see you're a bit of
Hopefully
a runner.
London at some point.
Yeah, we would love to.
I entered the marathon for I entered the lottery for the London Marathon, but like the chances of getting in are like 1%. So
Oh, really?
it'll happen
Yeah,
though.
it's become very popular, the London Marathon. Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah,
amazing. Well, that's great. We actually interviewed you for the station a few years back.
that's right.
Sophia, yeah, Sophia. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
How's she doing?
I haven't seen her for a while, but she's gone on to bigger and better things away from the station. So let's just say that. But
Okay.
she did great interviews. She interviewed Bob Mintzer
Yeah.
and Lyra Delaria. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's a real laugh, as I'm
She's
sure you
great.
felt.
Yeah, we had a nice chat.
Excellent. So yeah, anyone else who's got
Yeah,
projects they want to mention?
I'm doing a musical called Goddess at the Public Theater until June 15th, and then after that I'm going to Asia tour with Ulysses Owens Jr. and doing summer camps at Jazz Mountains in Vermont, and going to China, and DC, stuff like that. But it's on my website. It says
Okay.
8 minutes left, so I'll pass it to Chelsea.
So I also have my own group. I have my own quartet that I work with. I also have a collective called Hera that is an all women's like leader centric collective of women composers and band leaders, and that's kind of been on the middle burner. I run that collective with Andromeda Ture, who is an amazing vocalist. She's the
Yes.
Steve Ture and Akua Dixon. Andromeda just released her new album From the Earth last year, so we've been touring with
Yes.
that. We're getting ready to go to Atlanta Jazz Fest this weekend. So I've been doing a lot of exciting stuff with Andromeda, and then we're getting ready to refocus on the Hera project. We do have a song of hers on the Hera project that's supposed to be in a movie soundtrack, though. And then I've been working with Revive Big Band. We did a Tiny Desk concert this year. They have a new album out
All
called
right.
A Tree It Grows. I definitely encourage everybody to check that project out in honor of our dear friend. And what else? I've been working with Maurice Brown a lot. We're getting ready to go to Japan to play the Blue Note Tokyo at the end of June. And I've also been working with Ben Williams, who's going to Blue Note Tokyo at the beginning of September. He's got a new album out as well called Between Church and State. And with Maurice, you may know this guy, the UK soul singer Omar, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
I've been getting into some singing and songwriting. I've been singing for
All
the
right.
past like 10 years, but I've really been getting into songwriting more since the pandemic. I had written like a pop Christmas song with Maurice on his latest Christmas album. And then we wrote a song together for his new upcoming album that ended up being a duet with Omar. So we're really excited about that. Really excited about that coming out and
Yeah,
connect with him. He's one of my biggest heroes. And
he's a
yeah,
great singer.
other than that, doing some like pop studio work and just keeping busy in the gigging scene, working on a new album and trying to be side woman of the year.
Amazing. So for
Yeah.
me, actually as a band leader, there's a lot of a task for me, like get to know the people, still working on a lot of things, communication, everything. And I also have my own quartet, and but before everything ahead, I have 2 kids, so that takes a lot of time for me actually. So I do a lot of streaming at my place to play with the local musicians as well. It's
Oh.
kind of amazing because it's kind of building my own community here. Yeah. So I met a lot of talented musicians in around. Just call, hey, play, let's play, and they come to my place and play a lot. So that's the most of things I can do with the 2 kids for now. But but I'm still working hard with this pushing this band to the world. It's fabulous band. So working for that, and I will do it more work. Yeah. So
Oh, this is more so. I mean, like everyone's really got a lot going on there, haven't they? Which is great because when you come together, you're all energized,
Yeah, but
at the same time.
I want to say, as somebody who does work with a lot of band leaders, you really can't downplay the amount of work that Perm is doing right now because, like, she's had such an amazing response and has literally worked so hard to, get us out there. I've been amazed by it.
Yeah.
So many band leaders for decades in New York City. She's definitely one of the hardest working band leaders I've ever worked with. I just want people to really understand how much work that is. Like, thank you, Perm.
thank you, everyone.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Thank you.
Number 5 this week. Jazz Week, right? Number 5.
Yeah, we're on the number 5 on Jazz Week chart.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah,
You know?
we've been there a pretty long time, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've gotten a bunch of like people texting me and like videos and stuff. They're in their car. They're like, you guys are on, So I think that's going to lead to hopefully some clubs, picking up the phone, calling, be like, hey,
Yeah.
So one thing at a time.
Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to say really, well, first of all, thanks for a great um album, which we've been playing a lot on the station, especially on latest releases and on daily playlists. So thanks for that, and yeah, thanks for a really nice interview. And yeah, it's really really nice what you guys are doing. So yeah, I say thanks and well done and keep it going. Really, that's the main thing, isn't it? Just keep it going.
Yes, totally.
Excellent. So yeah, thanks for the interview today.
Thank you so much for
All
having
right.
me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
The JLR Interview Series.